Have you ever wondered how the world of nuclear weaponry began? The roots of this powerful technology trace back to the early 20th century, when the foundations of nuclear physics were being laid. Esteemed physicists like Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr, and Werner Heisenberg were making groundbreaking strides in understanding the fundamental laws of the universe. But it was in 1938 when German scientists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann made a monumental discovery that would change the course of history. They discovered nuclear fission, a process in which an atom's nucleus splits into two smaller nuclei, releasing an enormous amount of energy. This was the key to unlocking the destructive power of the atom. Little did they know, their scientific breakthrough would pave the way for the development of the most potent weapons the world has ever seen. These scientific advancements set the stage for the development of nuclear weapons. Where did the journey of the first nuclear bomb start? The answer takes us back to the troubled times of 1939. The world was on the brink of a devastating war, and fears of Nazi Germany developing a nuclear weapon were running high. Enter physicist Leo Szilard and his colleagues. They persuaded none other than Albert Einstein to pen a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, warning him of the potential threat and urging the United States to kickstart its own nuclear research. Einstein's letter, delivered in October 1939, acted as the spark that ignited the American nuclear program. But it was not until 1942 that this program took on a more formal, structured shape. Known as the Manhattan Project, this initiative brought together some of the greatest scientific minds of the time, intent on harnessing the immense power of the atom. Thus, the Manhattan Project, the cradle of the nuclear age, was born. Who were the key players in this secretive project? From the scientific community, J. Robert Oppenheimer was appointed as the scientific director of the Manhattan Project. His leadership and vision were instrumental in bringing the project to fruition. He was joined by a team of brilliant minds, including Enrico Fermi, Richard Feynman, and many others. Together, they worked tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of the atom and harness its power. But the Manhattan Project was not just about the people, it was also about the places. One such place was Los Alamos, New Mexico. Nestled amidst a rugged landscape, this remote location was chosen as the primary site for bomb design and assembly. Here, under utmost secrecy and against the backdrop of World War II, these scientists embarked on a mission that would forever change the course of human history. These were the minds and the places that made the unthinkable possible. What were the designs pursued for these unprecedented weapons? The Manhattan Project explored two main paths to atomic destruction: uranium-235 and plutonium-239. The uranium-235 bomb, often referred to as a gun-type design, operated by bringing together two subcritical masses of uranium-235 into a supercritical mass. This action triggered a chain reaction, releasing an enormous amount of energy. On the other hand, the plutonium-239 bomb was an implosion-type design. Here, conventional explosives were used to compress a subcritical mass of plutonium-239 into a supercritical mass. This implosion also initiated a chain reaction, resulting in an explosion of immense power. Both designs were based on the principle of nuclear fission, where the nucleus of an atom splits, releasing a significant amount of energy. Each method had its unique challenges and required innovative solutions from the brightest minds of the time. These two designs would forever change the course of warfare. When was the first successful test of an atomic bomb conducted? This question takes us back to the heart of the New Mexico desert in 1945. The Manhattan Project had been working tirelessly on the development of nuclear weapons, and it was time to see if their efforts would bear fruit. On a day etched into the annals of history, July 16, 1945, the first atomic bomb test, codenamed Trinity, was conducted. The bomb used for this test was an implosion-type plutonium device. This was a pivotal moment in the project, as it marked the successful application of the theories and principles the team had been working on. The physicist Kenneth Bainbridge led the team responsible for this groundbreaking test. His leadership and the collective efforts of his team brought about a monumental achievement that would forever change the course of history. The Trinity Test marked the dawn of a new era. When were these devastating weapons first used in warfare? The answer lies in the waning days of World War II. The United States, having successfully tested an atomic bomb in the New Mexico desert, made the decision to deploy these weapons against Japan. The first bomb, codenamed Little Boy, was dropped on the city of Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. This uranium-235 bomb caused unimaginable destruction, instantly killing tens of thousands. But the world's introduction to nuclear weaponry did not end there. 3 days later, on August 9th, a second bomb, codenamed Fat Man, was dropped on Nagasaki. This plutonium-239 bomb resulted in a similar scale of devastation and loss of life. The use of these weapons marked a turning point in human history, demonstrating a destructive power beyond anything seen before. The world had witnessed the destructive power of nuclear weapons. What followed after the end of the World War II? A new era dawned, one marked by a dangerous arms race and diplomatic maneuvering. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki had not only brought World War II to a close, but they had also showcased the formidable power of nuclear weapons. The world took note. By the late 1940s, the Soviet Union, not wanting to be left behind, successfully tested its first atomic bomb, named Jo-1. This marked the start of a high-stakes race between the two superpowers, with each striving to outdo the other in developing and testing increasingly powerful hydrogen bombs. But amidst this brewing storm, there were efforts to quell the tempest. The Partial Test Ban Treaty of 1963, for instance, sought to limit nuclear testing, but it couldn't prevent the development of more advanced weapons. The nuclear age was now in full swing. How has the nuclear landscape evolved since then? Let's journey into the latter half of the 20th century. During the 1970s and 1980s, the two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, embarked on a mission to modernize their nuclear arsenals. This period saw the introduction of more sophisticated hydrogen bomb designs. The arms race had evolved into an intricate game of chess, each side continuously striving to outdo the other in a bid for supremacy. But the nuclear stage was becoming increasingly crowded. Other nations were keen to develop their own nuclear capabilities. The United Kingdom, for instance, detonated its first atomic bomb in October 1952, joining the nuclear club as its third member. France followed suit in 1960, and China in 1964. The 1970s saw the entry of a new player, India, which conducted its first nuclear test in May 1974. India claimed this was a peaceful nuclear explosion, but the world knew better. This marked the start of nuclear proliferation in South Asia. In response to India's test, Pakistan accelerated its own nuclear program. Despite international pressure and embargoes, Pakistan successfully tested its nuclear device in May 1998, making it the seventh nuclear-armed state. These developments broadened the nuclear landscape, creating a more complex and volatile environment. The nuclear club was no longer exclusive to the superpowers. Smaller nations now had the ability to wreak havoc on a global scale. The proliferation of nuclear weapons posed a significant challenge to global security. It underscored the need for robust international treaties and stringent monitoring mechanisms. The world had to grapple with the reality of multiple nuclear-armed states, each with their own agendas and geopolitical tensions. The nuclear age continues to unfold, posing new challenges and questions for humanity. As we move forward, we must remember the lessons of the past and strive for a world where nuclear weapons are a relic of history, not a tool of the future. So, what have we learned about the Manhattan Project and nuclear weapons? We've journeyed through the annals of history, exploring the scientific foundations rooted in the early 20th century by pioneers of nuclear physics. We have delved into the Manhattan Project, initiated by a letter from Albert Einstein to President Franklin D. Roosevelt. We've met key figures like J. Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, and Richard Feynman, and visited significant locations like Los Alamos. We've studied the two types of atomic bombs, the uranium-235 and plutonium-239, and witnessed the birth of nuclear warfare with the Trinity Test. We've faced the harsh realities of the use of nuclear weapons in Hiroshima and Nagasaki and grappled with the aftermath and enduring legacy of this world-altering event. The Manhattan Project and the birth of nuclear weapons have undeniably left a profound and enduring imprint on our world. As we continue to grapple with the legacy of the Manhattan Project, one thing is certain: the impact of nuclear weapons on our world is profound and enduring.